Hey everyone, welcome back. We are ready to play more of Innocent Until Caught. Or are we? We need to, I need to talk tech with you folks for just a bit. I'm sorry to do this because I know that most of you probably just want to get on with the game. But I got a couple of interesting comments with some interesting technical information about this game and about DOS games in general on the previous video. First of all, I did talk about the Sound Blaster problem, how I couldn't get Sound Blaster to work in the game. So, I believe K-Panic23 was the one who told me about how to get it to work. So thanks to K-Panic23 for the information. I knew that you needed to get a driver file for the Sound Blaster. Like you need to get a separate driver file that was, I guess, provided by Creative Labs back in the day for their Sound Blaster cards, and provide it for the game. What I didn't realize is that you also need to change your Sound Blaster card type. So here in DOSBox, if you type set, DOSBox will automatically set the blaster variable that you see there. So the first, so the A220 is that's the I/O address, which almost never is changed, and the D1 is DMA channel 1, which also almost never changes. But the I5 and the T4 are important here. So I5 means IRQ5, so it's interrupt request 5, which was used by later Sound Blaster cards. The original Sound Blaster used IRQ7. I know that because I actually had one. But later Sound Blaster cards mostly used IRQ5. And the T4 specifies the type of Sound Blaster card. Now, DOSBox by default emulates a Sound Blaster 16 card, which will not work with the usual Creative Labs driver files that you get for this kind of thing, which makes sense because, you know, the driver is for a specific model of sound card. I mean, it's for a specific Sound Blaster card. You can't just use it with any hardware. It has to be the right hardware for that. So Keypanic did provide me with a link to it's here in the DRV directory. So yeah, it's just the CT voice file .drv, which came from I guess originally from Creative Labs. And then you can see, again, looking at the environment variables, the last one is called just sound, and it points to the root directory in C, on drive C, and so that basically means that it'll look for a directory called DRV there, with the Sound Blaster file in it. I knew all that, but again, what I didn't know is you have to actually go into the DOSBox configuration file and change the Sound Blaster type from Sound Blaster 16 to Sound Blaster Pro. And then when DOSBox is emulating a Sound Blaster Pro, then it works with this driver file, and then everything is hunky-dory. So if we go back to Innocent Until Caught and run the setup program again, now you can see I've set it to the Sound Blaster. I will not be using Roland sound. That's a little bit more action than I really. That's just too wild and crazy for me. You know, I mean, I'm not one of these young hip kids who does Roland stuff. That's just like that's just way out of my league, man. So again, thanks very much to Kpanic23 for the information on getting Sound Blaster to work. Let me go ahead and run the game again and comment on a couple of other things. First of all, if you run the game, one thing you'll see right away is... Oh, well, okay. One thing you'll see right away is this. Hold on, page 29. Hold on, let's see, manual, page 29. Okay, and we want column 5, row 2. Looks like the number is 6667. I wonder if that's a bad omen. Anyway, okay, so let's go ahead and start the game again. Now, take a look at the Psygnosis logo there. Notice that it's circular, which is a good sign because that means that the aspect ratio is working. So a couple of people on the previous video did also comment on aspect ratio in emulating DOS games. Now, the problem here is, and not just with this game, the problem with a lot of DOS games in general is a lot of DOS games use, including this one, this game uses 320 by 200 video resolution, which was a very common mode. I mean, you know, VGA mode 13 is 320 by 200 pixels with 256 colors. That was a very common video mode back in the days of DOS. Now, most computer monitors of the early 1990s had an aspect ratio of 4:3, meaning that the ratio of the width to the height of the monitor was, again, 4:3. But if you mathematically calculate the ratio of the number 320 to the number 200, you'll find that those numbers actually have a 16:10 ratio to each other, which is kind of a ratio that people associate with widescreen resolutions today, which is why some people say, hey, were DOS games actually widescreen? No, they were not. And the reason is because, as a couple of people pointed out on the previous video, pixels on computer monitors of the time, in the early 1990s, tended not to be square. They were not perfect squares, they were kind of, rectangular, they were elongated a little bit in one direction, which means that if you emulate a game like this, you will tend to get distortion, because DOSBox is going to give you basically square pixels from a program which was not originally designed for square pixels. Now, correcting for aspect ratio is actually pretty easy in DOSBox. As it turns out, DOSBox, again, you just go into the DOSBox configuration file, and the DOSBox configuration file has a setting which is simply called, I believe it's just called aspect. You just turn on that setting and boom, that's it. DOSBox will automatically do aspect ratio correction, which in the case of this game, I think gives you... Wait, what did it turn the resolution into? I forget now, because I'm actually filming this in double. I actually have a double magnifier running here on, or a scaler running on DOSBox here. So even though this game is in 320 by 200 resolution, it's actually in 640 by 400 on my screen. And I remember when I turned on aspect correction, DOSBox started running in 640 by 480 for this game. So it makes the game window significantly taller. Normally that would be what you'd want to do for a game like this, because usually, games that are in 320 by 200 resolution don't quite look correct in, Windows, like in DOSBox, if you're not doing some kind of aspect ratio correction. But this game, somebody posted a comment on the previous video saying that this game especially is somehow aspect ratio corrected in such a way that you don't need to have DOSBox correct for the ratio. So, long story short, allegedly for this game you don't need to do anything to correct for aspect ratio. And the reason why I mentioned that the Psygnosis logo is circular at the beginning is because that's how you can tell. If the logo was an oval, like it wasn't circular, but kind of like an elongated oval or ellipsis, that's your clue that the game is distorted. It's either stretched or squashed or something, because the aspect ratio is wrong. So I know that's a lot of talking, but I just wanted to get this straight because people have commented on this in the past and saying that the aspect ratios of some of my videos are wrong. They may have actually been wrong in some of my previous videos. It may very well be the case that some of my previous videos were a bit distorted because I didn't have the right aspect ratio going on, but apparently this game is not one of them. Like, it's not a concern for this particular game. So, and in fact, when I turned on aspect ratio correction in DOSBox, I noticed that, in fact, the Psygnosis logo when running this game is distorted. It's actually too tall, like it's taller than it is wide, so it's not a circle anymore. Okay, that was a lot of talking. I apologize that that I talked so much. One thing that I did want to show, hold on, I think I can skip this here. The thing is, okay, let's skip this. I'm just pressing escape to skip that. Okay, listen to this. When the ship comes down, there you go. That's our reward. All that trouble setting up the sound blaster just so we can hear that. I haven't heard any other sound. So basically, I played this game through to the point where I was at last time, and the only sound effects I heard were that of the ship landing, and then outside here, if this guy will get out of my way, thank you. Out here there are these taxis that go by, and sometimes the taxis honk. Let's see if we can get a taxi to honk at us. Come on. There you go. That's it. Those are the only sound effects that I've been able to get out of the game thus far. But again, I only played with the I only played up to the point where I was at in the previous video, and I'd only made one video, so I didn't need to Oh, it honked again. So I didn't get that far. Anyway, but I can load the game where I saved, and I needed to play through the game again. I couldn't just... So this is actually the save game that I'd made previously. Funnily enough, the game's sound setting is actually saved in the save game. That means that I couldn't just load my save game from the previous video because that saved game actually had just the ad-lib sound enabled. And there's no way, as far as I know, there's no way to turn on the Sound Blaster support if you load a save game that is set for ad-lib. So I had to actually start the game from the beginning and play with Sound Blaster sound on. So here we go. I'm going to go ahead and load the game with Sound Blaster sound on. And yeah, this is where I am. So this is not exactly the same saved game or the same state of the game as it was at the end of the previous video, but I did all the same things. I got, these 3 things from inside the brothel, and I got the passport from the spaceport. So yeah, now you can see music and sound effects are both on. So sorry folks, I've been talking for like 11 minutes just about sound settings and graphics settings for running this game. I know it seems it's probably a bit of overkill, but I just want to make sure that all this stuff is settled so that because people have been commenting on it. Now that all that is sorted out, let's go ahead and continue on, and let's see, let's walk in here. And by the way, speaking of audio, this room in here has probably my favorite music in this game, and it's really... Hold on, let me actually... Give me a second. Let me turn up the game's audio in my recording software, because I'm gonna just pause for a second. I'm just gonna go in here and pause for a second to listen to the music, because I really like this music. Isn't that wonderful? That's really nice. I really like this music. I mean, it's just a simple sort of waltz. It's just like simple waltz music, but I actually quite like it. Interestingly, the music, in my opinion, is actually much better than in the Amiga version of the game. So I did watch a video of the Amiga version of this game, and in this room, it's the same basic music, I guess, but it sounds very different. It's sounds like kind of cyberpunk, like it sounds like sort of a weird techno-industrial sort of version of this music. And in my opinion, it doesn't sound very good, not because I don't like techno music, but just, the particular version that they used of this music just doesn't sound very good in my opinion. So this sounds way better. It doesn't quite fit with the setting because it sounds like classical music, and, this sort of gritty, futuristic city isn't really something that you usually associate with classical music, but still, I really just love this this waltz kind of music that plays here. I just have to rock out to it every time. Okay, so what do we have here? Let's see. Let's take a look at some of the stuff here on the shelves. So here we have some drums and a guitar. Here's a computer and a hi-fi system. Remember when people called these things hi-fi? That was a while ago. Cupboard. Here are some guns. Here's another cupboard. And here's a vase, and this guy here is the pawnbroker whom we can talk to. Let's take a look at the stuff that he has for sale here. Okay, that's a bongo drum. Okay, fair enough. That is an acoustic guitar. Nice. Okay, the computer he actually walks over to see. It's an old home computer. It looks years old. I hate computers. Okay. That's unfortunate for you that you live inside one, sir. It's an out-of-date hi-fi. Or HeFi, as as Marco Repairs would call them. Those guns are absolutely useless. The firing pins have been filed down, they're totally outdated and virtually antique. Mind you, even guns like that can still be lethal. One look at them and you drop dead of laughing. Well, I don't know if that's true, sir. You've seen them and you didn't die of laughter, did you? I can understand, okay, maybe the guns are older, but why is this guy selling guns with the firing pins filed down? I guess because the guns are not meant to be functional, they're just replicas for display, but, okay. The cupboard is probably full of even more junk. Can we take a look inside the cupboard? Everything valuable is already on display, I reckon. Does he say the same for this cupboard? Yeah, okay. Alright, fine, fair enough. And what's the deal with this vase here? Hello, there's something inside this vase. Okay, can we get it out? Whatever it is. There's something in this vase. Yeah, I kind of... It's only a bit of rubbish someone's dropped into it. You may as well keep it. Okay. Nice. Okay, this is, what is this bit of rubbish that we have here? Is this the British version of the game? Because they're saying rubbish instead of trash. I mean, no American would say rubbish. They'd say just trash or garbage. Okay, it's the wrapper from some gum. Hey, check it out. So we have used chewing gum and we have a gum wrapper. We're really setting up a collection here. Can we take the vase itself? Because I'm going to guess that this is probably the vase that the madame at the brothel was talking about. There we go. Let's just pick up the vase and just take it with us. Why not? That seems like a very logical thing to do. Okay, let's talk to this fellow. Hey, Wrinkles. What's? I'm sorry. I take a childish amusement in silly insults like that. Oh, you don't sell beer here. Okay, I hear you like to do business. Yes, we did hear something about the pawnbroker potentially being a valuable contact for us, didn't we? So let's go ahead and chat with him, see what he has to say. He's giving us the.
Oh, and who told you that?
Should we say it's none of his business? I mean, assuming the customs guy at the spaceport is this guy's friend, I don't think there's any problem with us mentioning him as, just kind of saying, well, the customs guy sent me. It would have been nice if we'd gotten the guy's name, but I assume this pawnbroker probably knows whom we're talking about.
Oh, him. He's as bent as a boomerang. Puts a lot of business my way, though.
Your eyebrows are as bent as a boomerang, sir.
What do you want?
Nothing. Buy. I can find something you'd want.
Well, make sure that it's worth my time.
Okay. Are you going to tell me what it is that you want? Maybe, like... I mean... Hold on. Really? Is that it? Like, are you not going to tell me... Okay. I guess not. This is a fine shop.
Go away, I'm busy.
Fine, I'll go. Sheesh. Gosh. Alright, fine. I guess that's all we can do here for now, so...
Hey, bring back that vase!
I like how Jack just... It's a fair cop. I like how he just, he just keeps walking and he's like halfway across the pawn shop when he says, oh, I better do what the guy says. Yeah, I don't think there's any way to just walk out with the vase. We do need to actually do something to get it, but okay, that's fine. I think we're done here for now. Let's go ahead and walk out and continue exploring. So you can see from the graphic down here, there are a few exits here. So this red line here is the exit to the pawn shop where we just were. This goes to the brothel where we were before. This goes inside the bar, which we'll go there later, but we don't really need to go there now. This is where we came from, goes to the spaceport. This on the left is the subway station here, which is again useless because we don't have any we don't have a subway token to get inside the subway. But this back here, this is also an exit. This is an alley. It's a back alley that goes to somewhere else. So let's see where this goes. Gosh, what's all this stuff on the ground? It looks like there's just some stuff lying around here. A bag.
It's a bag.
A hose. Okay, I don't know why there's a bag and a hose. Well, I guess I can surmise why there might be such things lying on the ground in an alley like this. Okay, fine. Well, a bag can be useful. A hose can probably also be useful. Let's go ahead and... That's not a hose. That's something else that was... Hold on. What? Hold on. Let's get the hose and then look at everything that we've picked up here. There we go. That's how you do it. All right, let's see. So what do we have here? We have... So that's the hose, but this is a can. Okay. All right. Is there anything special about any of these? It's a short length of hose pipe. Okay. It's a can full of newt brew. Okay. And this is an empty bag. All right, fair enough. Well, all items that may potentially be useful. And there's another guy here. He's so full of booze he can hardly move. All right, can we talk to the gentleman? I don't think he's coherent enough to listen to me. All right, fine. Is there something on the ground in front of him there? There's a hat. Hey, check it out. It's a hat just sitting on the ground. There's something inside the hat. Can we get whatever's inside the hat? It's probably money. No? Ooh, no, I wasn't clicking on you. I was clicking on the... No, not you, the hat. Stop that. Ah, dude. Man, get out of the way. I'm not trying to click on you. I'm trying to click on the hat. Get off! Okay, so the homeless guy here says, "Get off." I assume that if he's so drunk he can hardly move, he could probably just take the hat and walk away with it. But given that the hat probably contains whatever alms passersby have given him, I guess we wouldn't want to take his take his money. That's a little bit low, stealing from a beggar, isn't it? All right, let's go this way and see what's over here. Eats. I'm dying for a drink. Shut up about the drink, man. Stop whining about a drink. You don't have any money anyway. Where do you suppose you're going to get it? Okay, actually, we do have a drink. We have this can of newt brew. So actually, I guess we do have a drink, but anyway. Eats. That's nice. Eats is a good name for a restaurant. No frills. What's this thing here on the... It's an oil can. Let's go ahead and pick up this oil can. Come on. There we go. That's how you do it.
And that's the way you do it.
What's this stuff here? So on the side of this restaurant here, there's a PowerPoint, which is this game's bizarre designation for what any normal person in the world would call a power outlet or power socket. Do people call them PowerPoints in England? Maybe that's the reason. Did Microsoft name their presentation software PowerPoint because like that's actually a word used in England? I've never heard of it, but this game does seem to be using some British terminology, so maybe I don't know. Okay, there's some trash there. There's some more trash called a diner here, and some more trash standing in front of the diner. A biker, ugh. Another biker, ugh. Another biker, and another biker, ugh. And this guy over here is a mascot, okay? There's a bike, here's another bike, and there's an ornament on the bike. I like how the bike says hate here. Not that I like hate, but I just find it amusing that it says that. And it says dice, but isn't one of them a die rather than a... I know some people say a dice, but I always thought that dice was plural and one of them is a die, but what do I know? Ah, how gross can you get? Furry dice. Okay. Another Hoverglide model, a cheap one by the look of it. Alright. Does he say anything about that hood ornament? Well, I suppose it makes a change from a silver lady. Alright, I guess, what is that? Is that like a... My first guess is maybe it's a dragon head, but actually it looks kind of like a chihuahua head, but I don't think that some tough biker dude is going to put a chihuahua head on the front of his motorcycle, but maybe I'm wrong, who knows. What's the deal with this mascot here? Ah, a little itty-bitty teddy bear. Just goes to show even mean, battle-scarred bikers never really grow up. Can we take the, Can we take some of this stuff? Like, can we take the fuzzy... No, I guess not. Or the hood ornament? No. Can we take the mascot? No? It's a pity. Alright. I don't think we can do anything with that, with this power outlet or power point. Oh, electrocute myself. Okay, well... He says he'll do it, but then he didn't. Although I understand what he means. He means he would electrocute himself if he were to try to interact with it significantly. Can we look at the trash here? Hello, this has been thrown away by mistake. Okay, what is that? It looks like an egg or something. It is an egg. A large one at that. Okay. Well, that's nice. You just take thrown away eggs out of the trash. I'm sure that does not run the risk of food poisoning or anything like that, sir. Okay, let's talk to this fellow here. Let's talk to these bikers. I don't think a conversation is worthwhile. Nothing intelligent is likely to come out of that. Okay, same with that one. Same with that one. Ah, but this one looks intelligent enough to make a conversation, I guess. Hi there, thug. Nice bike you got there. I like your friend's coat. I just remembered I don't speak to bikers. Let's be nice and say I like your friend's coat. I don't know if this is particularly flattering. Really, it's made from 2,368 half-credit pieces, all linked together to form a waistcoat. I guess you'd call it change mail. Har har! Okay, so it's a coat literally made of credit cards. Who writes your jokes? A vegetable. Could I borrow that coat? You have to do me a favor first. Yeah, I noticed they're spelling favor the British way, O-U-R. Okay, I guess that's fair. What's the favor I can do for you? Get my silver slash back. What's the silver slash? It's an ornament that sits on the front of my bike. It looked great, but I had to sell it. Okay. What for, who to, or who cares? I think this would be to whom, actually, but okay. What for? I had a debt with the owner of the Paradise Club for services rendered, and she won't give it back. Okay. Well, you know, I mean, there are probably cheaper places to get a massage, sir. Alright. Nice bike you got there. Yeah, it'd be a lot nicer if it still had the silver slash. Alright, fine. Okay, so you want that ornament. You might remember when we were in the brothel, there was actually some kind of a hood ornament on the table there. We took the perfume from the table, but the madam wouldn't let us take the ornament, so that's what this guy wants back, so we need to somehow get it from her. But to get it from her, I guess we need to get her that vase that she wants, which is in the pawn shop. So we need to get the vase, and then from the vase we get the ornament, and then we can give the ornament to this guy and get that coat, which the other guy's... I guess it's what this guy is wearing. He's wearing a coat made of credit cards. Ugh. Okay, fine. Can we talk to the guy here working at the... He has a very strange way of movement. Like he just constantly shakes his head back and forth and then turns to whatever is behind him, and then... That's not in the Uncanny Valley at all there, is it? Okay, let's see. I don't want to order anything from here. Alright, fine. Okay, I don't think there's much else we can do here right now, so let's head out this way, and let's see, this, I believe this is a dead end, so this is a dock with a, you know, with a boat on it, but I don't think there's much we can we go inside the boat?
Intruder alert! Intruder alert! Clear off or I'll call the police.
Okay. I'd better get out of here. Alright, let's go. Yeah, I don't think there's much we can do here. You know, it's weird, when Jack stands back here, his character looks so squashed. He looks way too short and wide here, and it almost makes me suspect that, you know, it almost makes me feel like maybe the game should be ratio corrected a bit, because when you turn on aspect ratio correction in DOSBox, it does make things taller, but unless unless people want to discuss further, I mean, as far as I can tell, I think the aspect ratio. Whoa, wait, hold on. I just noticed something here. What's this red thing here? Is that something? Maybe it's just part of the ship. Hat. Ah, it is a hat. Okay. Well, let's. Oh, come on, really? We can't get the hat until we deal with this stupid robot. Okay, fine. Okay, fine. Forget it. Sheesh. Well. Alright, it's the robot's job to guard the ship, so... yeah, okay, fine. Let's get out of here and see where else we can go. So... are we done here for now? I guess... probably. Just trying to think, I did play through this game recently in preparation for this Let's Play, but I forget most of the details, so I actually don't remember all the things that... Shut up about your drink, man. Good grief. But, well, okay, speaking of drinks, I guess... now that looks interesting. Okay, come on, man, stop looking at the menu on the brothel there. Let's get some stuff done. We don't have money for a drink, but we can go inside the bar and see what's going on here. Yeah, like, see, this guy here, who takes a ridiculously long time to line up his pool shot. Come on, shoot the ball. There we go. When I first saw him, I thought that he just keeps doing this forever. He just keeps sliding the cue back and forth, like, which, now that I think about it, has a strangely sexual overtone to it. But, no, if you wait, like, a century, he will, in fact, actually shoot the ball and somehow manage to bounce the two balls around in such a way that they end up exactly where they were before. So, yeah, so there's not much that we can do here right now, I don't think. I mean, we could get a drink if we had some money. And there are these two guys. Oh, let's get this thing here. This looks like something we can take. It's a jar. Let's pick up this, this jar here. And what's this other thing on the table? No, not you. The thing on the table. Come on. Come on, man, pick it up. There we go. I believe that is... yeah, it's the lid for the jar. And you can actually combine things in your inventory by putting them on top of each other in an appropriate way. So, like, see, if I take this lid from the jar and click it on the jar thus, then... come on. Come on. There we go. Now it's a jar with a lid on it. So... that is sometimes important to do because Jack will complain when his inventory gets too full. He can actually carry only a limited number of objects in his inventory, and if you're carrying too many of them, he'll say, I can't carry anymore. So combining objects like that when possible is useful to, because otherwise that would be two separate inventory objects and take up two inventory spaces, if you will, although this inventory doesn't really use spaces. Alright, let's see now. What's up with these guys here? These guys appear to be having an altercation with that jukebox. I wouldn't like to meet him on a dark night. On the other guy, I don't like the look of him. Alright, can we talk to these very reputable-looking gentlemen? Hey, big buddy. Grrr. Good boy. I think I'll just stand. Alright. Alright, over here if you don't mind. Alright, keeping your distance is a reasonable thing to do. Can we talk to this other guy? Excuse me. Clear off, creep. Alright, well, that was not worth that. That interaction was not worth the time it took. Alright, I mean, we'll talk to the bartender later because he, I mean, I think we do need to get a drink from him, but we need money for that, so I'll talk to him later. Can we talk to this guy who takes some ridiculously long amount of time to line up his pool shot? Hi there. Uh-huh. I think you should put more topspin on that. Shut up, I know what I'm doing. Alright. These guys, I don't think you can interact with these guys very much. Oh, actually, you can talk to this guy. How you doing, pal? Where can I do some business around here? What, you want to buy a car? No, why?
Well, I've just bought a new car.
Let's change the subject quickly. How are you doing? I think this gentleman doesn't have very much to say.
Oh yeah, really good. My new car is brilliant.
That's nice for you. Okay, mustache. You know, when I was a kid playing games like this sort of trope where you go to a bar or something like that to do business, like to find people to do business with, is so common that I thought that's actually why people go to bars. Like in Strike Commander too, those of you who played Strike Commander know that bars, like, you know, the bar features very prominently as a place where mercenaries go to get jobs. And this was so commonly repeated in video games, because the bar is always like the place where you go to get, you know, to meet some people who will like sell you a job to do or something, that I actually, when I became an adult, I actually did this for a while. Like, I would go to places like this and just to go to people and say, hey, do you have an assassination job or something that you need done, because I'm your man. And I was confused for a while why I did not get good results. It took me a while to realize, no, actually a bar is really just a place where people go to drink. It's not like, it doesn't work like in computer games where you go there to be like a cool criminal man. Hey man, yep. Nice night in. Hey, how do you get to be so fat? Where can I find some business? What do you do for a living except beer tasting? Let's see. Where do I find some business?
And what kind of business you looking for, boy?
Well, what choice do I have?
Aha, you see, you've got your daytime business, your nighttime business, or your man's business.
Well, let's make things much clearer. Oh, hey, we can... Oh, I didn't even realize this. You can actually move the mouse over words like this to... Daytime business? What, you mean work?
Bit of a strange concept, isn't it? Couldn't get the hang of it myself either.
Alright, sorry to bother you. Enjoy your beer.
Don't worry, I will.
Alright. Oh yeah, another not even pixel hunt puzzle, by the way. I just remembered. This barfly, if you, for some reason, unreasonably focus on his buttockle region, you will suddenly find... Come on. There we go. That he has a ticket in, I guess probably in his back pants pocket, but there's really no way to know this unless you move the eye over his rear, and even if you do that, you won't see it unless you move it over this specific spot, because there's not even a pixel that is visible and looks like anything like that. So you just somehow have to like know that you need to focus on his butt, and then, oh, there's a ticket there, and then you need to come on, there we go. Dum-de-dum. There we go. So we got this green thing, which is in fact, it's a ticket from a pawnbroker's. Yeah, so we can redeem this at the pawn shop and get whatever this is a ticket for. So, okay, so let's do that next time. I'm already I've already gone well over half an hour, so let's go ahead and save the game here. Yeah, we're already at 4.8% of the game, so it's not an especially long game. I mean, I guess it's fairly average length as adventure games of the time went, but yeah, it's not super long. Anyway, so I guess I'll go ahead and end it here. Yeah, that whole thing with the with this puzzle of getting the ticket out of the guy's back pants pocket is it's kind of ridiculous. One thing I should say, don't expect a lot of this game to make sense. It's not a bad game, but one of the big flaws of the game is many of its puzzles make no sense whatsoever. We'll see some great examples later on in the game, but just for now, I'll just say don't expect the game to make too much sense, because you'll be disappointed if you expect the game to make a lot of sense. And then things like just somehow staring at this guy's butt for like several minutes until you realize, oh, he's got a ticket in his pants. That is not a puzzle that I would have figured out on my own, I don't think, because that is not a particular pastime that I indulge in very frequently. So, anyway, yeah, well, Okay, I think this was a fairly successful video. We got some stuff done. So thanks for watching, everyone. I hope that I'll see you next time for more of Innocent Until Caught. Until then, what you should really do is go to your nearest bar and, place your hands inside the pants pockets of some portly gentleman there and ask him if he wants to do business. I'm sure that you will get very good results with this. This is what we learned from this computer game today. So until next time, folks, ta-ta.